Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done a video. I've been working a lot lately, and also the time when I have been home I haven't been spending with family, I've been spent painting. So I figured if I get any free time I spend it painting rather than doing any videos. But I finally got to a point where I think I could take some time to make you guys an update video on what I've been working on, and we'll get right to that. Alright, these are the 15mm troops that I've been painting. I've been painting them for almost 2 years now. I think these are the first units over here that I finished painting. These grouping of 10 figures here are the commanders, and I've just finished painting those literally today. Got them based up, mounted, and all that stuff. I figured I'd take a moment, give everybody an update of all of my progress that I've been working on, and kind of give you all a tour. So here we have the French army. I did paint one Scottish Jacobite unit right there, and then all of this is British. I think the last time I did a video about my 15mm troops, all I had were the cavalry and the regulars right here. These are the French line and the French grenadiers, French heavy cav, and then the British regular infantry, grenadiers, and then the Highlander unit, which at that time didn't have a flag, and then the British heavy cav. And I didn't have artillery yet at that point for either side. Didn't have any of the other miscellaneous troops also painted up at that time either. I don't recall if I had the Jacobite troops painted at that point or not, but didn't matter. I was doing a video, just a quick playthrough video, which I believe was actually in April, if I remember correctly. Just kind of do a quick playthrough Battle of Warfare and the Age of Reason rules. So basically all of this stuff, the artillery and that around there, is what I've painted, I guess, in the last 9 months. And the idea is I'm going to do a French and Indian War battle. I know we haven't done any updates with our Age of Reason campaign lately. That's pretty much gone fallow. I think I might have done an update on that. But we did have one battle that the two English and the French players decided to shake hands on it and let it go. It was the Battle of New England, and I was painting through these miniatures, and it got to the point where I was like, well, you know what, I was getting to the point where I could pretty much paint miniatures that I'd need up to do that battle quickly enough. So that was kind of my goal, and that's the goal of where I'm at today, is I've got enough miniatures to be able to fight that battle. And you'll see that, you know, comparing the French to the British army that I have painted, and obviously the British army is bigger and has more, but not all the British units will be participating in that battle. A lot of it was legacy from, for example, the artillery. These 6 artillery here was the artillery bag that I bought, so I just painted up all 6 units. And then the 2, these are regular British light infantry back here. I painted those 2 up, and that's when I kind of started looking at the notes for the battles and realized that I didn't have to do a lot more painting in order to get what I actually needed for the battle. So instead of painting up everything, or for example, I was going through purchasing French and Indian War miniatures, and I figured, well, all I'll ever need is 2 British light infantry units to do a French and Indian War battle. And after I painted up those 2, I realized I didn't have to really do a lot more. So instead of painting up, going through and looking at my master army list, and I started with painting, like here's the Cour de Bois. I only needed 1 of those, 2 French militia, 5 French Native Americans. There's 1 Rangers, these are the Roberts Rangers, 3 militia units, 1 provincial line infantry, and then 2 Native Americans allied to the British. And realized that I didn't have to make more than that, so I stopped painting extras beyond what I needed to paint. I just started focusing. So that's why the French only have, you know, this much, because this is all I needed for the miniature battle. I don't have all the extra French batteries painted up yet because I didn't need those right now. So here's the French, taking a more direct look at the French army. Again, here we have 2 French militia, and I have these painted up as the figures that I got. They're Blue Moon miniatures, 15 millimeter, and they were the Compagnie French de la Marine. So basically they were French regulars in Canada. And originally they were from France, but as they were stationed in Canada, they started getting Canadian enlistments and membership. So I decided to use those figures to represent the French militia. And as you can see, they kind of have the forge caps. They're kind of like the stocking caps. And the nice thing about the Blue Moon miniatures is they're very well detailed. I mean, with the muskets, very well detailed. Especially, you got the banding on the muskets there. These guys, they have little hatchets and little bed rolls. And even though I painted 2 units of the same, how I'm differentiating them is with the color of the bedroll. So these guys kind of have like a blue-gray bedroll, whereas these guys have the, I can get it to focus, green bedroll. So and back here we had Coeur de Bois. They're basically woodsmen, and from what I understand is these are basically French Canadians or Acadians or whatever the case may be, the Europeans, and they developed relationships with the Native Americans, and so these were the woodsmen there, kind of fighting in that loose formation. Got 5 different Native American units. And I kind of painted them up generically. I didn't really have a lot of information on how to actually paint them. So I just kind of went for generic colors. And since, I had a whole bunch of them, I differentiated the different units based on the color of the leggings. And then they've got kind of like their little loincloth there. The French natives have a blue loincloth, and then the English have red loincloths. Otherwise, I pretty much painted them up the same. French regulars, infantry, these have been shown before. These are Old Glory. Then here's a French light battery. And then the gunners. These particular batteries, these are Blue Moon. Whereas for the British, all of the British artillery, except for the heavy, are Old Glory, and then the British heavy is Blue Moon as well. Real quick, it's off to the side, but the commanders. And again, I'm kind of predicating my armies and the manufacture of my armies based on the Sword of Kings campaign. So this guy represents a +1 general in the campaign. To be a sub-general, and I kind of painted him up. There's one picture of Montcalm kind of wearing a green jacket. So that's kind of how I painted him up, as to be representative of Montcalm in North America. And then the sub-generals, again, according to the Sport of Kings campaign, they represent half generals in the battle in the tactical game. Didn't really have a lot of information, so I just pretty much painted them up as colonels. I figured in North America, wouldn't be running around on horses a lot, so the brigade commanders will be on foot, and then paint them up as, you know, unit colonels. I figured unit colonels would get elevated to brigade commander status, even though technically at this scale they're not really brigades per se, but you know, whatever, it all works. Taking a really quick look at the Jacobites, there's only one I got so far. I might have shown these before, but I didn't have the flag put on. I found this one flag online. I thought it was really cool. It had the flowers on it, and some writing on it, even though it's really kind of small. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, I thought that turned out pretty cool. And here we have the British regular line. These guys are Old Glory. And these have already been seen. These are, the regulars were in the video, the battle video that I did. So you have the 3 regulars and then the grenadiers. Here's a close-up of I painted these guys out. These are the Highlanders. I painted them up as the 42nd. 42nd before they received their royal warrant, so they have the tan facings, or buff facings, I guess it would be. And the idea is this is a 15 casting unit. It would normally be a 12 casting unit, but the British player could decide to remove one stand from a regular unit and then add the 5th stand, the Grenadier stand, to make the Highlanders a 15 casting unit if they so desire. So painted up that extra stand there, even though, you know, it's up to the player to decide. Light infantry, you got 2 different light infantry. These guys are the 55th foot, kind of your traditional, you know, red jacket, green facings, have them in blue leggings. Again, these are Blue Moon. Blue Moon are really detailed. Here they say, you can see that has a haversack, has a canteen, and then their shot pouch, and then powder horn. But then it's also got a hatchet on there. These guys are really, really cool figures. And then this is the other regular lights. These are the 80th foot. These are more brown, just brown across, all the way across. Going to the provincials. These are the Virginia provincials. I painted them up in their late war uniform. Early war they were red. It was all red. You know, red jacket, red facings, red everything. And I wanted a little bit more contrast, so I painted them up in their late war uniform. But I did get I printed out their provincial flag, so you know, has the white flag with the wreath, and it says VA Provincials, and it has the British flag up in the corner. And then for militia, again, these are Blue Moon miniatures as well. The Highlanders were Old Glory. Provincial militia, these are Blue Moon figures. Here, I'll do the one stand. This is, I think the Blue Moon site has them listed as, you know, woodland soldier. I can't really remember exactly how they had them listed. Woodland something, backwoods or something like that. But again, really detailed. Their shot pouch. A lot of them have powder horns. Some of them have hatchets. Kind of see that guy kneeling there has his hatchet down there. Now these guys didn't come with any command figures, and I wanted them to have command figures, so I ended up going and purchasing the Blue Moon American Riflemen from their AWI line. So the command figures are actually AWI figures, but they paint up close enough and they look pretty good. And I marked these guys as the New York militia, and they didn't really have a flag, and it's really hard to say if they actually ever flew a flag in battle or not. But I looked online and I found the New York way back when. It was actually during the Revolutionary War, maybe even a little bit before that. They had the beaver as kind of their state animal, and that stemmed all the way back from when New York was under control of the Dutch. So they had a naval ensign that was the beaver, and so I figured, oh, that'd make a cool battle flag. So I said, what the heck? I printed that out, and then I got 2 more militia units painted up. These guys, this is Rhode Island. It's just your using the, again, same thing, Blue Moon miniatures. Command figures are from the American AWI range, but that flag is just the, the Commonwealth ensign. And then the 3rd militia unit is New Hampshire, and that one found a flag that had an evergreen tree in the one corner, so that's the flag they get. And then finally, the light infantry for the provincials. These are the Rangers. These are actually painted up as Robert's Rangers, and the command officer painted them up as Roberts himself with his cap and bright red feather there. But again, they're very similar to the regular light infantry, with a lot of accoutrement, hatchet, bayonet, scabbard, haversack, shot pouch, powder horn, all that stuff. So yeah, really, really detailed figures. And then British Native Americans, again, like I said before, painted up the same way as the French, except this time to differentiate British or French, I painted the loincloths red instead of blue. Regarding British artillery, these 6 are Old Glory. 3 in the back are light, and these 2 are medium, and then a medium house. I think originally in the bag they're listed as 12 and 6 pound guns, but so I was originally making them as heavy and medium, because in the European army list for England or Britain, they didn't have any light guns. It was all medium and heavy guns. But then with the French and Indian War stuff, I needed light guns, so I decided to instead use these as light guns, even though I think they still got them labeled as medium. But they'll be light guns, medium howitzer. There's the little howitzer. Again, these are Old Glory. And then needing a heavy gun, then I went out to Blue Moon and I purchased, because Blue Moon does have more variety as far as gun sizes and stuff, so went out and purchased heavy artillery there. And then command. So you got a little guy there's kind of reading a dispatch or whatever. And then have these guys kind of pointing off. And then this guy here, I painted him up as General Wolfe, again, North America, French and Indian War, and an aide. And he was looking at a map or something, and his aide has a spyglass or whatnot. So again, these generals I literally just finished painting today. So that's it. That's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. I think there was 2 Novembers ago where I painted a 72nd unit, one 72nd cavalry unit for the main campaign that my group and I were playing. But that's it as far as the battle goes. The only thing I have left to do is I need to paint up some buildings, which I do have. I've got a Native American longhouse going to get painted up. I also have some, you know, like farmhouses, barns, stuff like that. I'll get those painted up. And then make some trees. And then I ordered some roads and rivers from Fat Frank's from eBay, and they should be arriving within the next couple of weeks. So hopefully within maybe three weeks or so from now, I should be able to get some videos to you guys of me actually playing some battles with terrain and decorations and stuff like that. But other than that, good to do a video again. It's been a while. Hopefully I'll be able to start doing some more. I still want to do some videos on my Sport of Kings campaign. Maybe get that started up, even though I pretty much say that every single video that I do. So we'll see if that actually happens or not. And then also got to do some painting for Beyond the Gates of Antares. My daughter is interested in that miniature game. And then my son, he's really interested in the Fallout Wasteland Warfare miniature game. So between my 15mm historicals and my daughter's stuff and my son's stuff, I've got a lot of painting on the painting block. And I'll give updates when I can. Other than that, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. If there's anything specific that you want to see, I've got enough miniatures painted up. I was thinking of maybe doing some tutorial videos on Warfare in the Age of Reason. If that interests you, let me know what about the rules that you'd like to have answered. As far as my understanding and scope of how I play the game, not necessarily official answers or official rules, but nonetheless, how I plan on playing the game, I'd like to have some videos out describing my house rules and stuff like that. So otherwise, happy gaming, and I'll talk to y'all next time.